Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're navigating the intricate world of online interactions. It's a space brimming with potential, but also, let's be honest, its fair share of hazards. And knowing you, someone who likes to get to the heart of things, quickly and thoroughly, we figured this deep dive into the digital landscape is exactly what you're looking for.
Absolutely. I mean, we all spend so much time online now, right? Connecting, learning, getting things done. But that constant engagement means we're also, potentially exposed to a range of complexities and threats. Definitely worth understanding.
Right. So our mission today is kind of twofold. First, we're going to extract the essential guidelines for positive, respectful online communication.
Yeah.
Your shortcut to smoother, more effective digital exchanges. Think of it as mastering the unwritten rules of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And second, we're going to shine a light on the various dangers that can lurk in those digital shadows, equipping you with the knowledge to navigate them, hopefully with more confidence and security.
And to do this, we've pulled together information from various sources, articles on internet etiquette, detailed analyses of online security threats, how they work, that kind of thing.
Okay, let's get right into it then. Let's start with the foundational stuff. How to be a good digital citizen. It revolves around this concept called netiquette, right?
That's correct, yeah. Netiquette. It's essentially the established etiquette for communication on the internet. It's really about applying principles of good behavior and, frankly, common sense in the online world.
Okay. So what are the fundamental principles, the ones we should all keep in mind?
Well, at its core, number one, really, is remember the human. It sounds simple, but it's easy to forget there's a real person behind every username, every avatar, someone with thoughts, feelings. Treat online interactions with the same consideration, the same respect you would face-to-face. Think about how your words might land.
That seems obvious, yeah. But probably the easiest role to forget when you've got the distance of a screen. So true. What's next?
Building right on that is the principle to adhere to the same standards of behavior online as you do in real life. Our ethics shouldn't just vanish because we're online. Things that are unacceptable offline, being rude, dishonest, harmful, they're just as unacceptable online.
Right. Maintain consistency, ethical conduct, no matter the medium. Makes sense.
Then there's know where you are in cyberspace. Just like different real-world places have different social norms, right? Same applies online. How you talk on LinkedIn is probably going to be different from how you chat in, say, a gaming community. Understanding the specific culture, the expectations of an online space before you jump in, that's crucial. It's like knowing the dress code.
That's a really good analogy, yeah. You wouldn't wear flip-flops to a formal dinner, so don't use super casual slang at a professional forum.
Precisely. Another key one is respect other people's time and bandwidth. Be mindful of others' time, their resources. Avoid sending huge messages, unnecessary attachments, posting off-topic stuff that just burdens people. Being concise, being considerate, always appreciated.
Yeah, we're all drowning in information online. Respecting someone's time and data. Definitely a mark of a good digital citizen.
Moving on. Make yourself look good online. This is about presenting yourself in a way that reflects well on you and your message. It includes taking a moment to proofread posts, messages, check for errors, and avoiding things like, all C caps.
Right, the online equivalent of yelling.
Exactly. It just shows you care about how you communicate.
It's like being articulate and clear anywhere else. A little attention to detail goes a long way.
Next up, share expert knowledge. If you genuinely have valuable, accurate info to add to a discussion or community, share it. The internet thrives on that exchange. But, and this is important, make sure what you share is credible and relevant.
Be helpful when you actually know your stuff. Got it.
Then we have help keep flame wars under control. Online chats can get heated, right? Unproductive. If you find yourself in a conflict, try to engage calmly, respectfully. Avoid escalating things. Sometimes, honestly, the best way to handle a flame war is just to step back. Don't add fuel to the fire.
Definitely easier said than done sometimes when emotions are high, but yeah, a good principle.
Absolutely. Following that is respect other people's privacy. Just like offline, be mindful of personal info. Never share someone else's private details. Don't forward their messages without their okay. Explicit permission. It's about boundaries, trust.
That feels fundamental. Online trust? Safety? What about people in charge? Like moderators?
Good point. That's where don't abuse your power comes in. If you're a mod, an admin, any position of authority online, use that power responsibly, ethically. Avoid intimidating people, silencing them, controlling things unfairly. Fairness, impartiality, super important.
Be a responsible leader online, just like you'd expect anywhere else.
Okay.
And finally, what if someone messes up online?
Be forgiving of other people's mistakes. We all make errors, right? Especially online where misunderstandings happen so easily. Approach mistakes with understanding. Offer, constructive feedback, not harsh criticism. A little empathy goes a long way. Fosters a better environment.
Encourages learning, yeah. Those are really solid guidelines. Respectful interaction online. Are there any extra tips beyond those core rules?
Yeah, a few more nuances. Since online chat lacks nonverbal cues, tone of voice, expressions actively try to use a friendly tone in your writing, your word choice, sentence structure. They can convey warmth even without sound.
Makes sense. Small things like positive language, avoiding aggressive phrasing. Big difference in how it's interpreted.
Exactly. Also, avoid oversharing. Think carefully about how much personal info you're putting out there publicly. Protecting your own privacy, your security, it's crucial. And this ties right into our next big topic. And also, be mindful of cultural differences. The internet's global. Be respectful of different norms. Avoid assumptions based on your own culture. What's fine in one group might be offensive in another.
It really is a global conversation now, isn't it? Cultural sensitivity is key.
And finally, respond promptly. Now, this doesn't mean being glued to your screen 24/7, but acknowledging messages in a reasonable time frame shows respect for the sender, keeps communication flowing. Responsive, not necessarily instant.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of being a good online citizen, etiquette. Now, let's shift gears to the more concerning side. The actual threats out there. It feels like we hear about different cyber attacks constantly.
Unfortunately, yeah, that perception is pretty accurate. Cyber attacks are getting more sophisticated, more widespread. It's essential for everyone online to understand the common forms, especially on social media and, just the web in general.
So, what are some of the most frequent ways people and organizations get targeted?
One of the biggest categories, and it's persistent, is phishing and social engineering. These tactics manipulate people into revealing sensitive info. They impersonate trusted sources, exploit our psychology. You've got general phishing, deceptive emails, messages, looking legit, often creating urgency or offering something tempting. Then there's spear phishing, way more targeted, aimed at specific people or companies, using info they found about the target to seem believable. And whaling, that's spear phishing aimed at the big fish, like CEOs, senior execs.
Wow, okay, so the attackers are really doing their homework to make it convincing?
Absolutely. And the methods vary. Pretexting involves creating a whole fake story, a scenario, to trick someone into giving up info. Baiting offers something tempting, free download, exclusive content, but it's actually malware or a phishing link. Honey traps use romantic or sexual lures to build trust, then exploit the victim. And scareware that uses fake security alerts to frighten you into installing bad software or paying for useless services. It all plays on human psychology.
It really is a whole arsenal of deception. What's another major threat?
Another big one is account compromise. This is when someone gets unauthorized access to your online accounts, email, social media, banking, whatever. They might get in through weak passwords, phishing, data breaches. Once inside, they can spread malware, spam, impersonate you for fraud, steal your info. This really highlights why strong, unique passwords for every account are so vital, and enabling multi-factor authentication, MFA.
Right, MFA. That second step, usually a code to your phone.
Exactly. It adds a significant barrier. You should use it wherever it's offered.
Seems like a must-have these days.
It really is. Another widespread tactic involves malicious links and content. Criminals spread harmful links through posts, messages, emails, even comments or ads on legit sites. Clicking them can install malware or send you to fake phishing sites designed to steal your logins or other sensitive data.
So that advice, be super careful. Clicking unsolicited links is absolutely essential. Still holds true.
Fundamental online safety. Yep. We're also seeing more deepfake profiles and brand impersonation. Attackers create fake online personas, sometimes incredibly convincing, using stolen photos or AI images. They might impersonate real people or known brands. These fakes are used to spread misinformation, run scams, fake products, fake services, or just trash the reputation of whoever they're mimicking. Verifying profiles, reporting suspicious accounts, important steps.
It's getting harder and harder to tell what's real online. Scary.
Indeed. Then there are data breaches. Unauthorized access to big databases full of sensitive info. These can expose huge amounts of personal data names, addresses, social security numbers, financial details, login credentials, PII. If a service you use gets breached, you have to update your password there and anywhere else you reused it. And keep an eye on your accounts for weird activity.
Feels like we hear about a major data breach almost every week.
They are depressingly frequent, yes. We also need to talk about cyberbullying and harassment. Social media, other online spaces, they can be misused for targeted harassment, defamation, threats, intimidation. Most platforms have reporting tools, privacy settings. You need to know how to use them to manage your exposure.
It's really awful how these spaces can be weaponized to hurt people emotionally.
And finally, watch out for fake giveaways and like-jacking. Scammers lure you with promises of prizes and fake giveaways, often asking for personal info or asking you to share it. Like-jacking tricks you into liking stuff unknowingly, which then spreads malicious content or scams to your network.
So the old saying applies, if it looks too good to be true online.
It almost certainly is, exactly. Now, let's turn to two particularly serious threats: doxing and swatting.
Okay, these sound especially nasty. Let's start with doxing. What exactly is it?
Doxing, often spelled D-O-X-X-I-N-G. It's the act of researching someone's private info and then publishing it online, publicly broadcasting it, usually with malicious intent. This could be their full name, home address, phone number, email, workplace, other sensitive stuff. They gather this info through social engineering, data breaches, or just piecing together publicly available data from different places.
So taking private details and blasting them publicly is an attack. Why do people do it? What's the goal?
The main goals are usually intimidation, harassment, or causing real harm. Victims can face online threats, unwanted real-world contact, identity theft, even physical danger. It's often used to try and silence or punish people, journalists, activists, public figures by making them feel unsafe, exposing them to danger.
That's incredibly unsettling. And then there's swatting.
Swatting is exceptionally dangerous, reckless. It involves making a false report to emergency services police, usually claiming a super serious, dangerous situation is happening at a specific address, like a hostage situation, shooting, bomb threat. The goal is to trigger a massive, aggressive police response, often including SWAT teams, who then rush to the victim's location, often forcefully. The victim has no idea what's happening.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
And potentially lethal.
Yeah.
Have people actually been seriously hurt by this?
Tragically, yes. Numerous cases. Property damage, severe psychological trauma for victims and families, and yes, even loss of life. A really prominent, heartbreaking example was Andrew Finch in Wichita, Kansas back in 2017. He was shot and killed by police responding to a swatting call made to his address. It stemmed from a dispute over an online video game. He was completely innocent.
That's just devastating. It really drives home the potential for real-world violence from online actions.
Yeah.
What are the legal consequences for doxing or swatting?
Both are increasingly treated as serious crimes. In the U.S., people involved in swatting have faced federal charges, big prison sentences. That guy, Tyler Barris, involved in the Wichita case, he got a 20-year sentence. States are also passing specific laws. Texas, for example, now classifies malicious doxing that causes harm as a felony.
So these aren't just pranks or online drama. They're serious crimes, major consequences.
Absolutely. And beyond the legal side, the psychological impact on victims is profound, long-lasting. Severe anxiety, constant fear for their safety, their family's safety, depression, a deep sense of violation. Being targeted so personally, so publicly, it's incredibly traumatic.
I can't even imagine the fear and insecurity. So what can people actually do to protect themselves from this, from doxing and swatting?
There are several proactive steps. First, and this is huge, be extremely mindful of the personal info you share online. Think twice, 3 times before posting your home address, phone number, workplace, even routine details publicly on social media or anywhere else. The less info readily available, the harder it is for someone to build that profile for doxing.
Okay, so be much more cautious about public sharing. That's key.
Exactly. Second, use privacy settings on all your accounts. Take the time, configure them carefully, limit who sees your info to people you actually trust. Third, it's good practice to monitor your own digital footprint regularly. Search your name online, see what's out there. Try to remove or secure sensitive data you find. There are even services that can help with this.
Like doing a personal online security audit regularly.
Precisely. And if you suspect you might be targeted threatening messages, weird online activity, report it immediately to the platform and to local law enforcement. Document everything, screenshots, times, dates. Finally, just raising awareness, educating yourself, educating others about these tactics, understanding how they work makes you less vulnerable.
Knowledge is self-defense. Makes sense.
Oh.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. Beyond these direct attacks, there's this whole realm of psychological and social manipulation online, often more subtle but just as damaging, right?
You're absolutely right. These tactics might not always be illegal hacking, but the impact on well-being, on someone's sense of reality, can be profound. Cyberbullying is a prime example. Repeated, unwanted harassment, threats, humiliation using electronic means. It can be online shaming, name-calling, spreading rumors, excluding people. And because it's online, it can feel relentless, inescapable for the victim.
Yeah, it'd be constant. Leave lasting emotional scars.
Another insidious one is gaslighting. That's manipulating someone to doubt themselves, their memory, their perception, their sanity. You see this in abusive online relationships, sometimes in manipulative online groups.
Wow, that sounds incredibly destabilizing. Making someone question their own reality.
It is. Then there's catfishing, creating a fake online identity, fake details, fake photos to deceive someone, usually for personal gain, maybe financial, emotional manipulation, other exploitation. The betrayal when it comes out can be devastating.
Yeah, the emotional toll, realizing the person you connected with doesn't even exist, must be immense.
Absolutely.
All right.
Trolling. Deliberately posting inflammatory, offensive, off-topic stuff to provoke reactions or disrupt conversations. Seems less harmful maybe, but persistent trolling creates a toxic environment. Brigading takes it further. Coordinated harassment campaigns. A group targets someone, floods them with negativity, overwhelms them.
Like a digital mob piling on.
Exactly, and we can't ignore cancel culture or dogpiling. Mass online backlash against someone, often for a perceived offense. It can cause huge reputational damage, lost opportunities, intense distress, and sometimes the reaction feels way out of proportion.
Yeah, the online world can be quick to judge, unforgiving sometimes.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Shifting to more direct deception. Phishing, which we mentioned, fits here too because it manipulates trust, urgency. Similarly, romance scams target people looking for connection online. Build emotional ties, then exploit them financially or for data. They prey on loneliness.
These tactics really hit fundamental human vulnerabilities, don't they?
They do. Impersonation and identity theft, creating fake accounts, hacking real ones to pose as someone else also falls under deception, used for misinformation, fraud, all sorts. And the deliberate creation and spread of fake news or misinformation, a powerful manipulation tool, influencing opinion, sowing discord, even inciting real-world actions based on lies. We've seen its impact.
We definitely have. The consequences can be huge.
Turning to more technical attacks. Malware and ransomware, distributing harmful software via links, attachments. Malware steals data, damages systems. Ransomware locks your stuff up, demands payment. Denial of service, DOS or DDoS attacks, flood online services with traffic, making them unusable. Often targets businesses, infrastructure, and credential stuffing, using stolen logins from breaches to try accessing other accounts, banking on password reuse.
It's like they're probing every angle, technical and human.
Precisely. Then you have platform-specific issues. Shadow banning, where a platform quietly limits your content's visibility without telling you. Very frustrating. Revenge porn or non-consensual image sharing, sharing intimate images without consent, incredibly harmful, abusive, and even Zoom bombing, disrupting virtual meetings with offensive stuff.
The online world really presents a unique, constantly evolving set of challenges.
And finally, just briefly, manipulative tactics within online groups. Cult-like grooming, using influence, manipulation to recruit people into extreme or harmful groups, and echo chambers and radicalization, how algorithms and group dynamics can reinforce specific views, isolate users, and sometimes lead them down dangerous paths.
It's worrying how easily people can get trapped in those online bubbles.
It is. So, pulling all this together, what are the crucial takeaways? How do we protect ourselves from this huge range of threats?
Okay, so it sounds like we need a multi-layered approach. Digital self-defense.
Exactly. Starts with the basics we covered. Strong privacy controls on all accounts. Strong, unique passwords for each one. Cultivate healthy skepticism. Towards unknown links, messages that seem too good to be true, content designed to provoke strong, immediate emotion.
Trust your gut online. If something feels off, it probably is.
Absolutely. If you encounter abuse or suspicious activity, report it to the platform right away. Document everything, screenshots, timestamps. Keep educating yourself and others about common threats and tactics. Enable multi-factor authentication, MFA, everywhere you can. That extra step is huge. Make it a habit. Update passwords regularly. Use reputable security software, antivirus, anti-malware, and keep it updated.
Like practicing good digital hygiene, regular maintenance, prevention. Key.
Precisely. Regularly monitor your account activity, look for unauthorized access, weird behavior, limit the personal info you share publicly, and proactively manage your digital footprint. Search your name online periodically, see what's out there, secure or remove sensitive stuff.
That's a really solid, comprehensive set of guidelines, navigating online more safely, more responsibly.
It is, and the fundamental takeaway from this deep dive today. Navigating the internet safely and effectively now requires this dual focus. We need to embrace and practice positive, respectful communication, the etiquette we started with. But just as critically, we need ongoing vigilance, awareness of the wide range of threats out there.
So be a responsible digital neighbor and a proactive digital security guard. Both.
Exactly. By understanding both etiquette and the potential risks, you, our listener, are just far better equipped for a safer, more respectful, more positive online experience.
And that brings us to our final thought for you to chew on. Given how fast online interactions and threats evolve, what's the shared responsibility here? Between us as individuals, the platforms, maybe even governments, what's their role in fostering a truly healthy, secure, ethical digital environment for everyone? It's complex, no easy answers, but definitely something to keep in mind as you navigate your digital life. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.